Tonight on this end of semester edition of News One,
we will feature stories about President Bill Clinton's visit to WT, the explorer who discovered the Titanic and Buffapalooza.
WT Sports Highlights, we look back at the life of Dick Clark in entertainment news. This edition of News One starts
right now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on the final edition of News One. I'm Brandon Carpenter. The number one song on today's date in 1956 was Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis Presley.
President Bill Clinton, who visited our campus yesterday, played that song with his saxophone in the Arsenio Hall Show in 1992. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sabrina Meck.
WT selected 25 students to take part in a brand new leadership initiative called Lead WT.
According to WT's website, the goal of the new program is to help students create leadership potential through coursework, student service, and real-world application.
The students will be required to complete a 2-year service program that will be noted on their transcripts after completion.
The 25 students were accepted based on application and interviews. They will be recognized at a special luncheon on May 11th. After a $100,000 donation to the Flight 93 National Memorial near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, the 42nd President of the United States, Bill Clinton, was welcomed to the West Texas A&M campus as part of the Distinguished Lecture Series. News One reporter Mari Samaripas has the details. Thank you for joining us, Mari.
Oh, my pleasure.
So having a former president here in our area, especially at WT's campus, is a huge thing. What was the response of WT in the community?
Well, I believe because of the fact that he's only one of 2 presidents that have ever came to the WT campus in the past 102 years that WT has been established as a university, created a lot of excitement. Also, WT really made this event huge. They gave the students an opportunity which shows that they always put their students first by giving them a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And at precisely 8:11 p.m. on Tuesday night, former President of the United States, Bill Clinton, walked on stage in front of a full arena at the First United Bank Center, where he began his 3rd speech of the day.
Speaking in Las Vegas, El Paso, and concluding a day's work in Canyon, Texas, keynote speaker Bill Clinton's arrival drew nothing other than anticipation and interest throughout the community.
It's very exciting. It's a very rare opportunity to actually see a former president speak. Whether you're a Republican or Democrat, it's a good experience to have. I'm excited to actually just get to see him. He's one of the inspirational figures in my life.
West Texas A&M University welcomed nearly 6,000 people to the First United Bank Center for a visit from the 42nd President of the United States. Bill Clinton left this community with a sense of pride and connected us to Washington as well as the world.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
President Clinton's speech focused on domestic policy, including energy, healthcare, global warming, technology and innovation, and a collaboration to solve problems.
The message that President Clinton gave tonight was a message that challenges all of us, I believe. It challenges us to look into ourselves and think about how we can do better as a community, and how we can work together more, and how we can, by helping others, actually achieve much more.
Former President Bill Clinton stated, "We must learn to share the future. We cannot escape each other." For News One, I'm Mari Samaripas.
Distinguished lecturer Dr. Robert Ballard spoke about exploring the depths of the ocean and the discovery of a lifetime.
And student artists cover the night for Invisible Children. We'll be right back after a short break.
Education beyond high school, a path to opportunity and success, the key to building a better life. But for many, the challenges of paying for education beyond high school can keep the opportunity only a dream and out of reach. But there is an organization that can help. We are Federal Student Aid. Each year we award $80 billion in grants, low-interest loans, and work study to students and families, for colleges, trade schools, and professional schools. We are Federal Student Aid, part of the U.S. Department of Education. Learn more at federalstudentaid.ed.gov. We may be able to help you realize your dreams. Don't get left behind. After all, the most costly education is the one not begun. Federal Student Aid. Start here. Go further.
For 37 million Americans, this is life living below the poverty line. Every day, a struggle just to hang on. Right now, 1 in 8 Americans lives like this. Many have jobs, children, families, and every day hanging on gets a little bit harder. Find out what you can do. Please, don't let one more fall. Go to povertyusa.org and get involved.
On Monday night, the world-famous discoverer, Dr. Robert Ballard, who found the Titanic, came to West Texas A&M to speak of his adventures in the deep. News One reporter Jacob Bradford is standing by with more detail.
100 years ago, the Titanic went down into the cold Atlantic waters. Dr. Robert Ballard, who found the Titanic, came on Monday night to speak of his adventures in the deep. Dr. Robert Ballard, the man most commonly known for finding the unsinkable Titanic, spoke at Mary Moody Northern Hall on Monday. Some students came to learn more about the actual events that happened on the Titanic.
I'm here tonight just to see more or learn more about what happened in Titanic, and I'm a huge history buff, so it's real interesting, and it's a great, opportunity for me to learn more about it.
But it wasn't just the Titanic he spoke of. He has found other famous ships, such as the RMS Lusitania, the German battleship the Bismarck, the USS Yorktown, and a handful of century-old wooden ships in the Black Sea. WT welcomed Dr. Robert Ballard, the discoverer of the Titanic, with a packed house tonight. Event organizers say that more than 1,000 people were in attendance to see the oceanographer in person.
We learned something new about exploration, about research, about his experience, and what's really important to him.
I think it's a wonderful idea, learning more and researching and exploring more about not only Titanic, but also it's a great way of researching more about other things.
A college experience is an experience of discovery. It's an experience of learning new things. And I think tonight we all learned something new.
In March, the Kony 2012 documentary went viral with more than 86 million views, causing it to be one of the biggest movements to date. Invisible Children, the group behind the project, is working to keep Kony 2012 relevant to viewers with events like Cover the Night. News One's Cello Rivera is here with more. Thank you for joining us, Cello.
Thank you for having me.
So, Kony 2012 has been extremely talked about recently. What do you think the best aspect was about the Cover the Night event?
Well, what I think the best aspect of Cover the Night was that participants had to do some form of community service in order to participate in Cover the Night. So not only were they making a global impact, but a local one as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Invisible Children released Kony 2012 in an effort to spread awareness of Ugandan war leader Joseph Kony. According to the documentary, Kony has kidnapped thousands of children and forced them to serve in his army. WT students and the local community came together to make a difference. Let's take a look.
This past weekend, Cover the Night, a national event geared toward raising awareness and support for the Kony 2012 campaign, called for people across the nation to do their part to support the cause. Local participants raised awareness by giving Cadillac Ranch a Kony facelift.
Kony 2012 has gotten a lot of flack. A lot of people don't think that it's doing very much. There have been a lot of people who, post on YouTube, post online saying, if you're going to put up a bunch of posters and you're going to paint a bunch of logos, that's not going to make a difference. And my opinion is that the people that say those kind of things are doing more damage than Joseph Kony himself. They're discouraging people who want to make a difference.
While the United States is doing their part to aid in the capture of Joseph Kony, the Invisible Children campaign is set to expire at the end of the year. Cover the Night is just one event in which people across the nation can participate in. WT students devoted their time to raise local awareness and do their part in this national event.
It will speak a lot to our generation, and to be able to through a social network, just to bring something so grand to focus, that we were able to, just as students at WT, to be able to bring awareness to the Panhandle, will bring hope to maybe the next generation, that they're able to bring awareness to whatever causes comes up during their time. And I hope that people across the U.S. will understand that we have a voice, and that just a simple one night can change a lot.
For News 1, I'm Chela Rivera.
More than 200 people attended Relay for Life in Canyon on Friday. Relay for Life is the cancer awareness event that celebrates the victims who have fought cancer and won, and also remembers those who lost the fight. Relay for Life gives families a chance to meet others like theirs.
So my grandmother died of breast cancer, so I try to go out to Relay for Life whenever I can. I think everyone comes together and makes you realize that we all know someone who's either died or had cancer. It's not just some myth that we don't think about anymore.
Activities kept people awake during the long night, including Zumba, group dancing, face painting, and plenty of fundraising. The most symbolic of all, however, was just walking to remember the victims of cancer.
I'm with Sage, and we just raised money, and we're here as a group, and so we're all walking throughout the night. It just gives money back to the people in Canyon who do have cancer, and just helps support them and lets them know that they do have a huge support system.
Luminaries represented loved ones of families whose lives have been affected by cancer. As the sun rose on Saturday morning, it was announced to the crowd that the Relay for Life of Canyon had raised more than $30,000. Coming up after the break, Travis Luby reviews WT baseball highlights.
And Kayla Went talks to the softball team about their chances for another championship. Sports is next.
They can be aviation electricians, healthcare technicians, computer technicians. But no matter which path they choose, they all start right here.
I did all my research, and I can get money for college.
If your son or daughter wants to talk about the Army, listen. You made them strong. We'll make them Army strong. To learn more about the Army's 150 different career opportunities, visit GoArmy.com.
I gave my money to a broker. He wasn't registered with the securities regulator. I lost the farm.
I answered an internet ad that guaranteed 300% of your interest.
Red flag, red flag.
I lost my money.
I saw that ad, but I called the securities regulator and I found out that investment wasn't registered. I still got my shirt, my shorts, and my money.
Billy, this is progress.
Call the Texas State Securities Board and investigate before you invest.
WT Baseball has an opportunity to move up to the #1 seed coming into the conference tournament. Stay tuned.
It's flu season, so follow these handy tips to stop germs from spreading. Clean your hands often. Cover your sneeze with your sleeve, please. Stay home when you're sick. And get a flu shot if you can. These healthy habits can help prevent flu. But beware, new kinds of flu may be harder to fight. If a pandemic flu hits, it can spread quickly around the world and become a serious, even deadly threat. Learn more about pandemic flu at texasprepares.org. Stopping the spread of flu is up to you.
News 1 reviews the Lady Buff softball season of record-breaking performances and their upcoming run out of repeat as conference champions.
Checking in, Adriana Garcia.
Last season, the Lady Buff softball team won their first ever Lone Star Conference title in school history. This season, they have similar expectations, are being led by 3 record-breaking seniors. Megan Brown, the catcher, has become NCAA Division II all-time leader in walks. Marcy Womack, the pitcher, has become WT's all-time leader in strikeouts. And the outfielder, Kim LeCompte, has become WT's leader in hits, runs batted in, and home runs. The contributions from these seniors are key in their hopes as repeat as conference champions.
It was kind of hard at the beginning, just feeling out how their personalities are and whatnot, but I mean, we all have the love for the game that brings us together as one, so it's been pretty easy here lately.
With the cancellation of the 2-game series against the University of Central Oklahoma, the Lady Buffs will play as the 4 seed in the upcoming conference tournament. These seniors haven't just broken records. They've had to adapt and mix into a lineup that includes 4 true starting freshmen, and Allie Cranfield, Robbie Daly, Renee Irwin, and Alyssa Lemos.
We've been fortunate. Some of our freshmen are stepping up real well and doing a good job right now. A couple of our transfers have come in and picked it up as of late. But obviously, to win the tournament, we're going to have to go through a run of the best teams. So we'll see what happens.
The Lone Star Conference Tournament is a single elimination tournament and begins Friday, April 27th in Denton, Texas. The tournament has the Lady Buffs taking on Abilene Christian in the first round. The last time these two squads met, the Wildcats took the series 3-0 in Abilene. For News 1, I'm Kaylor Wendt.
The WT baseball team was predicted to play 6th in the Lone Star Conference this year. But with 4 games left on the schedule, the Buffs are now 4th in the conference and looking to make some noise in the postseason.
WT is preparing for their final homestand of the season after a tough series loss to Incarnate Word. Until this past weekend, WT had not lost a conference series all year. Center fielder Eric Dorton is anxious to see Incarnate Word again in the playoffs.
They hurt us this weekend, taking 3 or 4. Facing them again to get a little revenge would be nice.
After a 1-3 series loss to Incarnate Word, WT hopes to do better this weekend against their rival Eastern New Mexico.
The key to this weekend is winning all 4 games. I mean, we have to sweep in order to get a chance to win conference. He's going to go at it just like any other weekend and put the best guys out there at any time. Whether it's a reliever or a starter, you're going to leave them in.
WT has stayed in games with the help of their potent offense. As a team this season, the Buffs have hit for an average of .344, one of the highest team averages in Division II. But with recent shortcomings in clutch situations, WT is working on their approach at the plate.
We got to get our confidence back, get back and focus in. The ultimate goal is to make the playoffs. We just got to get back locked in, play better defense. We got to get timely hitting, like I said earlier.
On Friday, the Buffs will defend a 14-10 conference record at home. Game time is set for 7 p.m. at Wilder Park. Reporting for News 1, I'm Travis Luby.
And like Justin Cook said, they need to win all 4 games to be in contention for the #1 seed in the tournament. Hopefully their bats catch fire like they did earlier in the year.
Yeah, that's good. 4 games. Then it's what after that?
Oh, then they got the conference tournament. Hopefully they can have a good push there to get a good seed in the playoffs.
Oh, well, thank you, Travis. Appreciate that. Coming up after the break, Buffs give back by giving goats. WT storytellers perform a puppet show for local school children and a look behind the scenes of News 1. Stay with us.
The Sybil B. Harrington College of Fine Arts and Humanities nurtures and preserves the art of human expression through teaching, research, professional service, and creative endeavor. In other words, it rocks with departments in music, dance, art, theater, communication, English, history, modern languages, philosophy, and geography. Students express themselves through music recitals, concerts, theater productions, art exhibits, and dance performances, as well as storytelling, speech tournaments, and radio and television broadcasts and student publications, all complemented by a solid liberal arts foundation to ensure student success in a variety of professional career opportunities. Discover the art of human expression in the Sybil B. Harrington College of Fine Arts and Humanities at West Texas A&M University, and discover the buff in you.
With help from the beautiful weekend weather, many were able to come out to WT's annual event, Buffapalooza, a free fun-filled event that offered an afternoon of music, food, and games including darts, jumping inflatables, and face painting.
Buffapalooza was just a very good way to get the community and campus involved, and the kids really enjoyed it.
Buffapalooza had an assortment of activities to choose from, while the dunk tank was the hot spot to cool off. Other areas were the sweet spot to chow down. Campus organizations sold everything from cotton candy to baked goods.
Alpha Omega Fraternity, we did a water balloon throw. It was $1 a water balloon, and you got to pick any member of your choice, and you got to hit them with a water balloon.
Whether you thought the members of Alpha Tau Omega needed a little refresher with some water balloon tosses or just wanted to enjoy the fabulous weather with other community members, there was something for everyone to take part in.
WT students demonstrated this past week that there are other ways to raise money besides car washes and bake sales. News One reporter Katie White took an inside look Wednesday at Shackathon. The event raised more than $12,000 to buy goats for less fortunate people in Africa.
Shackathon is actually the culmination of Give a Goat, which Give a Goat, we raise money to buy goats to send to Kenya, Africa. They are building shacks out of pallets and cardboard and duct tape. And a few nails, a few screws, but really they're just building it. We're going to sleep in it tonight. And if the weather turns bad, the weather turns bad. I mean, we're just really going to try and experience a little bit of what some of the refugees in the Turkana region are experiencing.
Well, Shackathon's been going on from a community alliance thing, campus ministry thing, for 4 years, where all the campus ministers come together. The Shackathon has actually been going on longer than that because the Church of Christ Student Center, they started it to be able to provide resources to send to AIDS victims in Africa, and then eventually other people felt like it was a good thing to be on board for. And so 4 years ago, the campus ministries together formed an alliance, and we together decided that we wanted to be a part of this, all of us together.
I think that the Shackathon at WT is the only thing that's like it. I don't know that there's anybody else that's doing anything quite like this, building shacks and giving goats, and so this is really unique.
On Thursday, WT students showed off their puppetry skills at the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum. Students performed a series of short stories for local grade schoolers. Professor of Communication Studies, Dr. Trudy Hansen, oversaw the performances. Hansen will also be directing the annual Storytelling Festival next week. This year, the festival features professional storyteller Barbara McBride Smith, who will perform at the Branding Iron Theater on May 4th at 7 p.m. For questions on how to get involved in the storytelling class or information about the festival, please contact Dr. Trudy Hansen at 806-651-2800.
Sometimes the best things in life aren't things. News One's very own On the Wall reporters Darren and Jeray pay a special tribute to Dick Clark and give you the scoop on hot attractions you can look forward to this summer.
Thank you, Sabrina. I'm Darren, last name Darther.
And I'm Jeray Wise. Thanks for tuning into this segment we like to call The Jeray Show.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited for summer. It's just something about the wind blowing through your hair and being able to lie out in the sun that makes you feel a bit better about life.
Well, that actually sounds like something that I would say, but hey. However, one topic I'm sure we can agree on is all of the awesome festivities that the summer has to offer. From concerts to jamming out with your summer playlist with friends, there's something to keep everyone entertained.
Exactly. Here are a few hits that will certainly make road trips a bit more enjoyable.
Darren, I'm sure no one wants to hear about your lousy music selection. I think they'd rather just gaze into my beautiful eyes and listen to my lovely voice.
You know, you didn't have to cut me off. You're gonna end up being just somebody that I used to know if you keep this mess up, as Gautier says in his new hit. Speaking of hits, Nicki Minaj's new album, Roman Reloaded, will be most played on my summer playlist. This album takes all of Nicki's original spunk and puts a spin on it. This album shows just how gifted she truly is by merging 10 rap tracks and 10 techno tracks to create a masterpiece. So if you're the type to roll down the street with your crew or get your fist pump on, this album will be perfect for you. Don't you agree, Jeray?
Yeah, but you know, you only live once. That's the motto, Darren, YOLO. So I'm sure Drake's album will do just as the title says and take care of me. And for those of you who love to live young, wild, and free, Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa's Mac and Devin Go to High School is surely a good choice.
True, true, but we do like to have a little fun on some nights, so We Are Young has to make the list. This song just makes you want to be carefree and cut loose on those hot summer nights.
Well, Darren, I'm not sure everyone plans to be a bum like you and sit at home listening to music all day. So for those of you who like to enjoy live music, I suggest to head over to the Ticketmaster and get your tickets for the hottest summer concerts, including the Club Paradise Tour with headliners like Drake, J. Cole, Waka Flocka, 2 Chainz performing in Dallas May 16th.
And if you don't get down with the rap scene, you can always chill out to the peaceful sounds of Florence and the Machine or do some wild head banging with Blink-182, who will also be on tour over the summer. And for those of you who prefer to be taken back into time, be on the lookout for Madonna as she hits the stage hard this summer with a new line of acts. So no matter your flavor, there will be an attraction to make you get up and move your body to whatever beat you desire.
All right. Well, while on the topic of getting up, I think it's time we pay our respects to the man who gave people a reason to wake up early Saturday mornings to watch the top hits of their time on American Bandstand.
Agreed. Without Dick Clark, the music industry would not be where it is today. American Bandstand allowed many iconic artists, including Chuck Berry, Prince, the Beach Boys, and Aerosmith, to debut their musical numbers.
Absolutely. Dick Clark is also known for making America more accepting of rock and roll. So the next time you start to jam out with your friends, take a moment to reflect on the huge impact he has made.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Darren Darther.
And I'm Jeray Wise.
Back to you, Brandon.
Well, thank you, Darren and Jeray. We really appreciate that. Dick Clark will also be missed on New Year's Eve as well. In January, about 30 students walked into a classroom and in the last 4 months have become a family. It has been a great season of News One, and here to take you behind the camera is John Lee.
Thank you, Brandon. And you know, it's a common practice for former students to tell horror stories to new students about what News One is like. But we have put together a montage of what it was like for us this last weekend. And we hope you will understand that it's not all hard work. You can enjoy a little bit of fun. Here's a look.
Take Turbo.
Hey, Denise raised money.
Take CG. Cut CG.
Of record-breaking performances and their upcoming run.
News One students receive first-hand experience in the world of broadcast news. It is not an ordinary class. It is an opportunity for students to sharpen their skills and build their reels. Mass communication major and former News One student Daniel Ferris says that News One helped him not only in news production, but in other classes as he describes his News One experience.
It's really a cool experience, one that probably not a lot of college students have, and we're just fortunate as students here at WT that Mass Comm program here offers that.
Here at News One, students learn everything from anchor etiquette to camera activities, and as well as running the switchboard to make the show happen. They also get to cover everything from local events in both Amarillo and Canyon, as well as campus events and sports of the Buffs football, baseball, and softball teams.
Cassandra Rivera, another former News One student, says that News One helped her focus on where she wants to take her career.
It made me find my love for videography, editing, things I would never expect. I started to really enjoy it.
There is a method to the madness, and that method is to remember to have fun with it.
We did have a lot of fun with our News One broadcast. So I'm here with Cheryl Proctor, who is also a former student. And Cheryl, I just gotta know, what kind of fun did you have with your News One?
Well, most of the secret fun that we had, it's not legal to actually come back and tell you guys. I think that the most fun that we had is just getting involved in those opportunities, like with my season, 21 Days of Change, and kind of y'all season of Clinton and those types of events that we would have never been able to go to had it not been for News One.
Okay, Cheryl. Now, what would you like to tell future students that want to enroll in News One?
I would say that this class is so close to what the industry is, not only on a local level, but nationally. I do work with an affiliate in Amarillo, and a lot of the skills and a lot of the skill set that I got from News One, it has definitely paid off in the industry.
Okay. Well, thank you, Cheryl, for joining in on our broadcast tonight. And for News One, I'm John Lee. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, John, and thank you for joining us on our final show of News One. It has truly been an honor and a privilege for us to be part of this newscast.
On behalf of the entire News One team, we thank Dr. Lee Browning and Ryan Hazelwood for allowing us to be a part of this distinguished program. We thank you for watching. Good night.